The night over Nova Ridge was calm at first. The air was cool, and the mining colony lay quiet under the stars. The workers had returned to their small metal homes after a long day of digging rare minerals from the frozen mountain. Only a few lights flickered in the valley below. Rian sat on the edge of a rusted platform outside the workshop. Holding a small scanner in his hand, he worked as a technician for the colony, repairing mining drones and broken engines. It was not an exciting job, but he liked the silence of the mountains. From here the sky looked wide and endless. He was adjusting the scanner when the light above him changed. A faint shimmer appeared in the air, like silver waves moving across the stars. He frowned and looked up. The shimmer grew brighter, turning into streaks of blue light that danced in the clouds. For a moment, he thought it was just the aurora that sometimes passed through the mountain region. But then the light moved differently, like something alive. Rian stood up and grabbed his communicator. "Control. This is Rian from the workshop deck. I'm seeing something unusual in the northern sky," he said. The radio crackled. A tired voice answered, "Probably storm plasma again." "Go inside, Rian." He stared at the moving light. "It's not plasma. It's changing direction." Before Control could reply, the blue streaks twisted together and formed a glowing shape. It was smooth at first, like a long curved shadow, but soon wings unfolded from it. The wings were wide, shining with metallic scales that reflected the moonlight. The creature's body was long, its head narrow with glowing blue eyes. Rian could hear a deep hum, like the sound of an engine running below the mountain. His heart pounded. The creature was flying directly toward the ridge. "Control, we have contact. It's not a drone." "Repeat, it's not a drone," he shouted. The voice on the radio turned sharp. "Get inside the shelter now." Rian hesitated. The creature slowed its flight and circled above the colony. Then it descended, landing gently on the snowy ground near the workshop. Its claws sank into the ice, leaving glowing marks. Steam rose around it, and Rian could see that its wings were made of both metal and living tissue. Wires pulsed under translucent scales. A part of the creature's chest opened, and a figure stepped out. It was a woman, tall and calm, wearing a suit of dark silver armor that seemed grown rather than built. Her hair was pale like the moon, and her eyes shone faintly with light. She looked around as if she had been here before. Rian froze. He wanted to speak but could not find words. The woman looked at him. Her voice was soft, yet carried strength. "Do not fear." "I mean no harm." He lowered the scanner slowly. "Who are you? What is that thing?" She glanced at the creature behind her and said, "His name is Oren. He is alive, as am I. I am Vera." Rian took a small step forward. "You are not from this colony. Where did you come from?" She looked up at the clouds above the mountains. From above, far above these clouds, he stared at her, confused. Above the clouds, there is nothing up there except the orbit stations, and they were shut down years ago. Vera smiled faintly. "You have forgotten what lies beyond your storms. Your people once lived in the sky, but time and fear made them turn away. I came to find help before everything up there falls apart." Rian's communicator buzzed again. "Rian, report. What is happening?" He pressed the button but said nothing. His eyes stayed on the strange woman. She looked tired, her armor scratched, her hands marked with faint burns. Oren shifted behind her, lowering its head as if to rest. Its blue eyes dimmed slightly. "What do you need help with?" Rian asked quietly. Vera turned to him. "Oren's fusion heart is failing. Without power, he cannot return to the clouds. And if he cannot, then the city I protect will lose its link to the world below. I came here to find someone who understands machines." Rian hesitated. "You mean you came for an engineer?" "Yes," she said. "I came for you." He blinked. "You don't even know me." "I know your signal pattern," she said calmly. "I have watched the colony's transmissions for weeks. You are the only one who repaired a drone engine that used an old fusion regulator. That skill may save Oren." Rian's breath caught. He had repaired that engine last month using parts others thought were useless. How could she know that? Before he could speak again, The sound of alarms echoed from the colony's main tower. Searchlights swept across the snow, and armed guards rushed toward the workshop. The colony's commander shouted through the loudspeaker, "Step away from the creature. You are trespassing on restricted land." Vera raised her head but did not move. Her expression stayed calm. "I will not fight. Tell your leader I came to ask for help." The guards formed a line, rifles ready. Rian stood between them and Vera. "Wait, she's not attacking. She needs help with her ship." The commander's voice was firm. "That thing is a weapon. We can't trust it." Vera looked at Rian. "They fear what they do not understand. Tell them I will leave if they let me repair Oren's heart." Rian turned toward the commander. "Please let me check her machine. If she wanted to hurt us, she would have done it already." The commander hesitated but shook his head. "No one goes near that thing. Take the technician inside." The guard stepped forward to grab Rian. He pulled away and shouted, "You don't understand. If she's telling the truth, something bigger is happening above us." Vera placed a hand on Oren's side. The creature's eyes glowed again, and energy rippled through its body. The guards raised their weapons. Rian felt panic rise in his chest. "Stop," he said. "Please don't shoot." Vera spoke, her voice steady. "I will leave. But your world will remember this moment when the sky begins to fall." Oren spread his wings, sending a gust of cold wind across the ridge. Snow and dust filled the air. When the lights cleared, both Vera and Oren were gone. The searchlight swept across empty ground. The commander looked around in disbelief. Where did she go? Rian stared at the sky. High above, he saw a faint glow disappearing into the clouds. That night, the colony locked down all communication lines. Everyone was ordered to stay indoors until further notice. Rian sat by the window of his small room, watching the sky. His mind raced with questions. Who was Vera? What city was she protecting? What was this fusion heart she mentioned? He tried to rest, but his thoughts would not stop. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the blue light of Oren's wings. There was something haunting about them, something that felt both ancient and alive. The next morning, the commander called Rian to the control tower. "You made contact with an unknown being last night?" the commander said sternly. "From now on, you will report everything you saw." Rian nodded, keeping his voice steady. "She said she needed help with her fusion core. If what she said is true, she might come back." The commander crossed his arms. "If she returns, we'll be ready. Do not try to talk to her again." "That is an order." Rian left the tower without replying. He went back to his workshop, pretending to work, but he kept looking at the sky through the cracked window. The clouds above Nova Ridge looked thicker than usual, swirling like smoke hiding something. That night, when everyone slept, Rian sat again on the platform. The wind howled softly across the metal beams. He held his scanner and aimed it toward the clouds. The screen flickered, showing faint energy readings, the same pattern he saw before. He smiled quietly. "You're still up there, aren't you?" A small spark flashed in the sky, like a star answering him. Rian felt a strange sense of purpose rising inside him. He did not know why, but he felt certain that Vera would return. And when she did, he would be ready to help her, no matter what the colony said. The mountains of Nova Ridge slept below, aware that something ancient and powerful had awakened above them. The next 3 days passed slowly in Nova Ridge. The snowstorms came and went, hiding the sky under thick white clouds. The miners worked in silence, and everyone tried to forget what they had seen. But Rian could not stop thinking about Vera and her living dragon. Every sound of the wind reminded him of wings cutting through the air. Every flicker of light on the scanner made his heart race. The colony's commander had ordered everyone to stay clear of the northern ridge. Patrols guarded the area where Oren had landed. The officers said it was for safety, but Rian knew they were waiting for Vera to return. He felt restless. He wanted to see her again, to know the truth about the sky she came from. On the 4th night, Rian sat in the workshop repairing a broken drone. The lights flickered, and the power core gave a small hum. He thought he heard something outside. When he looked up, the window showed a faint blue glow on the snow. His heart skipped a beat. He rushed to the door and stepped into the cold. The wind hit his face, and the glow grew brighter near the mountain path. He followed it quietly, his boots sinking into the snow. Then he saw her standing beside the cliff. Vera looked the same as before, calm and graceful, but there was weariness in her eyes. Oren rested nearby, half hidden under frost, his body dimly pulsing with blue light. "You came back," Rian said softly. Vera turned toward him. "I had to. Oren's fusion heart is breaking faster than I expected. I cannot repair it alone." He glanced at the creature. The scales near its chest flickered, revealing sparks beneath. "I want to help, but the guards will see us. They will think you are attacking again." "I know," she said. "That is why we must move before dawn. I only need a few components. You have the knowledge, and I have the designs. Together, we can fix him." Rian hesitated. "If they find out, they will arrest me." Her eyes glowed faintly. "If we fail, everything above will fall from the sky. What is one risk compared to that?" He looked at the clouds, heavy and dark. He knew she was right, though he did not fully understand her words. "What do you need me to do?" "Follow me," she said. "Bring your tools. We must reach the upper ridge where the signal cannot be traced." Rian ran back to the workshop, gathered his repair kit, and returned to her side. They climbed the snowy slope together. The night was quiet except for the crunch of their steps. When they reached a flat ledge, Vera touched her wristplate, and a soft field of light surrounded them. "No one can detect us here," she said. Rian knelt beside Oren. The dragon's chest opened slightly, showing a core chamber filled with moving light and wires that pulsed like veins. He stared in awe. "This is more than a machine. It's alive." Vera nodded. "He was made with a heart that binds energy and life together. Our ancestors built him to defend the sky cities, but after the last storm wars, the world below abandoned us. Oren kept the sky realm alive. Without him, it will fall." Gut. Rian studied the circuits. "The fusion regulator is cracked. If I can patch it and reroute the energy flow, it might hold for a while. But I need conductive alloy and plasma sealant. I can get those from the colony workshop. Will not make it past the guards," she said. "I will," Rian replied. "I have clearance to enter the supply room. Give me 2 hours." Vera watched him quietly. "You would risk your place here for me?" Rian met her gaze. "You said the sky might fall? If that's true, then this is everyone's problem." She smiled faintly, the first real smile he had seen from her. "Then go. I will wait." Rian returned to the colony before sunrise. He moved carefully through the quiet halls, avoiding patrols. In the supply room, he packed small containers of alloy, cables, and sealant into his bag. He almost made it out when the security chief spotted him. "Rian, what are you doing here?" the man asked. Rian tried to sound calm. "I'm preparing extra repair kits. The miners requested them for the northern drill." The guard frowned. "At this hour, the storm is coming. They want the equipment ready before morning," Rian said quickly. The guard hesitated, then nodded. "Fine, but report to control after you're done." Rian walked out, forcing himself not to look back. As soon as he reached the ridge again, he ran through the snow. When he reached the ledge, Vera was waiting. "You brought the materials," she said. "Yes," he said. "Let's fix this." They worked together through the night. Vera guided him through the strange systems of Oren's core. Her hands moved with steady precision. Rian followed her instructions, sealing cracks and aligning energy lines. The chamber glowed brighter with every repair. While they worked, Rian asked, "You said your people live above the clouds. What is it like up there?" Vera's eyes softened. "It is a world of light and air. Our cities float on platforms powered by the same fusion hearts. We harvest energy from the storms and build gardens in the sky. But the reactors are failing. Without repair, everything will sink. My mission was to find help from below, but I was warned that humans would fear me." Rian looked at her. "You took the risk anyway." "Yes," she said. "I believed someone would listen. I hoped that someone would understand." He tightened a bolt and said quietly, "I think I do." Oren's pulse quickened. The hum deepened, and the glow inside his body grew stronger. Vera touched the creature's neck. "He is waking." The ground trembled slightly as Oren lifted his head. The blue light spread through his scales, and a soft sound filled the air like music from the wind. Vera turned to Rian. "You did it. The heart is stable again." Rian smiled. "We fixed it together." Vera looked toward the clouds above. "Then it is time for me to return to the sky realm." Rian's heart sank. "Already?" She nodded. "If I delay, the next reactor may fail. But you should see what you helped save. Come with me." He blinked in surprise. "With you? Up there?" "Yes," she said. "You have earned the right to see the truth. The world above belongs to you as much as it does to us." Rian hesitated. "The commander will think I deserted." Vera stepped closer. Her voice was gentle. "You will return when the time is right. I promise you will not be harmed." He took a deep breath. "All right, I'll go." Vera smiled again. "Then hold on." She placed her hand on Oren's side, and the dragon bent down to let them climb onto his back. Rian held onto a ridge of metal near the base of the wings. The surface was warm and smooth. Vera stood in front, her armor reflecting the faint light. "Ready?" she asked. Rian nodded. Oren's wings unfolded with a loud rush of air. Snow lifted into a spiral around them. The ground shook as the dragon leaped into the sky. Wind tore through Rian's hair, and he felt weightless. The colony below grew smaller, until it was only a patch of light on the mountain. The clouds came closer, glowing silver in the moonlight. They pierced the first layer of clouds, and Rian gasped. Above the storm, the sky was clear and full of light. Massive floating platforms hung across the horizon, each shining like a city made of crystal and metal. Beams of energy connected them, forming a web that stretched far into the distance. Vera turned her head slightly. "Welcome to the Sky Realm." Rian could not speak. The sight was too beautiful. Towers rose from the platforms, and small flying machines moved between them. Some looked damaged, their lights dim. The edges of the nearest platform flickered with sparks. Vera guided Oren toward one of the smaller platforms. They landed on a circular deck surrounded by glowing pillars. The air felt thinner, but fresh. "This is one of the outer stations," she said. "It feeds power to the main city. You will help me stabilize it." Rian climbed down, still staring at the view. "I can't believe this exists. Why did people stop coming here?" "Fear," Vera said. "Long ago, humans built guardians like me to protect this place from storms and enemies. But when peace returned, they feared our power and cut us off. We kept the cities alive for generations, waiting for them to remember us." Rian touched a nearby panel. "And now you're running out of power." "Yes," she said. "The reactors are old. Only with help from below can we survive." He looked at her. "Then I'll help you. I don't care what the colony says. This place deserves to live." Vera's eyes glowed softly. "Then you are braver than most." They stood together on the platform as dawn light spread across the upper sky. The floating cities shone gold, and Oren stretched his wings, casting a shadow over the deck. Rian felt the air hum with energy. He had never felt so small and yet so alive. Below them, the clouds hid the world he came from. Above them, a forgotten civilization waited to be saved. Rian knew that his life would never be the same again. Rian could hardly believe what he saw above the clouds. The sky stretched wide and clear, dotted with floating platforms, towers, and gardens that glowed with soft energy. Flying machines drifted between the structures, some sleek and shining, others damaged and dim. The air smelled faintly of ozone and clean water. The hum of energy filled his ears. Vera led him across a narrow bridge of light to a larger platform. The surface pulsed with energy lines, and panels projected maps of the floating cities. Rian felt a strange mixture of fear and awe. "This is one of the outer stations," Vera said. "It maintains the connection between the city above and the world below. If it fails, the main platforms lose power, and the whole network will collapse." Rian studied the platform. He saw several reactors. some sparking and flickering. "These look old," he said. "I don't know if I can fix all of them. You only need to stabilize the main reactor for now," Vera said. "Once it is secure, the other stations can manage themselves until the energy stabilizes." He nodded and knelt beside the first reactor. The surface was warm to the touch. Light flowed through wires that moved like veins. Vera handed him a set of tools made of a strange alloy. "These are similar to what you used on Orin, but stronger. You must connect the energy conduits carefully. One wrong move could overload the system." Rian's hand shook slightly as he worked. He followed her instructions step by step, sealing leaks and adjusting energy flows. Sparks flew, and the hum grew louder. Orin hovered nearby, wings folded, watching silently. As he worked, Rian asked, "How long have you been up here alone?" Vera's eyes darkened. "I am not entirely human. My kind was created to guard the sky cities during the storm wars. We were half human, half machine. Our bodies are designed to endure the storms and maintain the reactors. When the wars ended, humans below feared us. They closed the gates and left us in isolation. I have been keeping the cities alive for decades." Rian paused. "Decades. How old are you?" "Old enough to remember when humans still visited the sky," she said. Her voice was quiet, almost sad. "Old enough to remember how they turned away." Rian's fingers tightened on the tools. "And you stayed anyway," Rian nodded. "I swore to protect the sky realm. I cannot leave it to fail, even if everyone below forgets us." He continued working, sealing the last conduits. Light flowed evenly through the reactor. A soft vibration ran through the platform. "It's stable," he said, his voice trembling with relief. Vera placed a hand on his shoulder. "Well done. You have restored a piece of the sky." Few humans would have risked so much. Rian looked around. "Why did your people stop visiting the world below?" "Fear and misunderstanding," Vera said. "Our ancestors were meant to help humanity, but humans feared our strength. They shut us out. The lower world continued, and we remained hidden. Only a few remember the sky realm, and fewer still understand its purpose." Rian's eyes widened as he took in the floating gardens, the crystal towers, and the delicate energy bridges. "This is incredible. Why would anyone abandon this?" Vera's eyes grew distant. "When peace returned, humans saw only what they feared. We were different. We were stronger. And so they left us behind." Rian felt a lump in his throat. He realized how alone she must have been, watching over a civilization that was invisible to the people who once created it. "I don't understand," he said. "If your cities are so important, why hide them instead of asking for help earlier?" Vera's gaze softened. "Because the last time humans came, they tried to take control. They wanted to use our energy and our guardians as weapons. I cannot allow that again. I only seek help from those who understand, who can see value beyond fear." Rian nodded slowly. "Then I understand. I want to help, not control." Her eyes glowed faintly. "Then you are ready. There is more to show, but we must move carefully. The inner cities are at risk. Some reactors are failing, and the network could collapse if we delay." They moved across the platform toward a larger city in the distance. Bridges of light connected the outer station to the first floating city. Rian felt a thrill as they stepped onto the bridge. Energy lines pulsed beneath his feet, and the air around them shimmered. Orin followed, hovering silently beside them. Rian realized the dragon was not just a machine, but a living being with intelligence and awareness. It watched Vera, responded to her gestures, protected them both. As they entered the first city, Rian noticed signs of damage. Buildings leaned slightly, lights flickered, and small fires burned in energy gardens. Some of the flying machines had collapsed onto platforms. The city was alive, but fragile. Vera guided him to a central control hub. Panels displayed maps of the other cities and reactors. Some sections were marked red, showing unstable energy. Rian's eyes widened. "This is worse than I thought. How did you manage to keep it running for so long?" Vera smiled faintly. "By focusing on the most critical reactors and maintaining the outer platforms. The inner cities were left vulnerable. Now the system is failing faster than I anticipated. Rian studied the panels. We need to stabilize the inner cities before the network collapses. But I don't know how many components we will need. Vera pointed to a map. There are storage units on each platform. Some contain materials similar to what you used for Orin. We can access them. But you must move quickly. The longer we wait, the closer the energy lines come to breaking. Rian nodded. Then let's start. They moved from platform to platform, repairing reactors, rerouting energy, and sealing leaks. Rian learned to read the hum of the machines, to feel the vibrations in the metal as if the cities were alive. Vera guided him with patience and precision. Together, they worked like a single team, their movements synchronized with the flow of energy around them. Hours passed. Rian's hands grew tired, but he did not stop. He felt connected to something larger than himself, a world that had been abandoned and yet still breathed through energy and life. During a short break, Rian asked Vera, "Why do the reactors have so much life in them?" "They are machines, but they feel alive." Vera's eyes softened. The fusion hearts were built to sustain both energy and life. They carry the essence of the sky realm. They are part machine, part living system. That is why Orin, too, is alive. The energy flows through him as it flows through the cities. If one fails, all are affected. Rian looked at Orin, who rested quietly nearby. The dragon's eyes followed him, almost as if it understood every thought. "It's amazing," he said. "I've never seen anything like it." Vera nodded. "It is beautiful, but it is fragile, and that is why you are here." By nightfall, they had stabilized several reactors and restored energy to a portion of the city. Lights glowed brightly along the bridges, and small machines whirred back to life. The hum of energy was steady now, not chaotic. Rian felt exhausted but exhilarated. He turned to Vera. "We did it. The city is alive again." Vera placed a hand on his shoulder. "Yes, but this is only the beginning. The inner cities still need attention, and some areas are too dangerous to enter without careful planning." Rian looked at the glowing towers in the distance. "I will keep going. I want to help you save everything." Vera's eyes glimmered with a mixture of pride and sadness. "Your courage is rare. Most humans would have returned to the lower world after the first sight of fear. You stayed. You acted. That is why you can help." As they rested on the platform, Rian felt a sense of belonging he had never experienced. He was part of something greater, something that had been hidden from the world below for centuries. He could feel the pulse of energy under his hands, the life of the sky realm connecting everything. Vera looked at him and said softly, "Tomorrow, we move deeper into the inner cities. There are places that have not seen life for decades. You will see the full extent of what humans abandoned." Rian nodded. "I'm ready. I want to see it all. I want to help you save it all." Above them, the floating platforms shimmered under the moonlight. The sky realm was alive, fragile and beautiful. And for the first time, Rian understood the meaning of loyalty, courage, and hope. He had crossed into a world that humans had forgotten, and he knew he could never go back to seeing the sky in the same way again. The air above the floating cities was crisp, filled with the hum of energy and the distant sound of machines working. Rian and Vera had moved deeper into the sky realm, climbing across bridges of light and narrow platforms. The inner cities stretched far and wide, their towers tall and glowing, but many were damaged. Some platforms tilted, and sparks flew from failing reactors. It was beautiful and fragile all at once. Rian's arms ached from the long work repairing the reactors. Each one required precise adjustments and careful alignment of energy conduits. Vera guided him, pointing out which circuits needed priority and which were safe to bypass for now. He admired her focus and strength. She moved with quiet precision, touching the reactors like they were living beings. "You are learning quickly," Vera said as he finished connecting a main conduit. "Most humans would not understand the flow of energy here. They see machines, not life." Rian wiped sweat from his brow. "It is different here. I can feel it. Like the city is breathing." Vera's eyes softened. "It is alive. It has memory and purpose. That is why it matters so much to protect it." They continued across the inner city. Bridges and platforms stretched like glowing veins, connecting one massive tower to another. Some towers were dark, almost dead, but the reactors they repaired shone bright again. The network of energy began to stabilize. Rian felt a sense of pride he had never known. As they worked, he began to notice other details. Small gardens floated in energy fields containing plants that glowed softly. Machines hovered silently, tending to them. The entire city moved like a living organism. He realized that Vera was not just repairing it. She was part of its heartbeat. "You have done more than repair reactors," Vera said. "You have connected with the Sky Realm. That is something few can achieve." Rian smiled, exhausted but happy. "I feel like I belong here." She glanced at him with an unreadable expression. "Belonging comes with responsibility. You must understand that this world is delicate. One wrong action could damage it irreparably." He nodded. "I will be careful. I promise." They reached the central hub of the inner city, a massive platform with a reactor that glowed faintly in red. Sparks danced along the edges. Vera examined it and shook her head. "This reactor is almost dead. If it fails, half the city will lose power." Rian stepped closer. "I can fix it, but I'll need access to the materials stored nearby." Vera hesitated. "There is a risk. The materials are guarded, and some sections are unstable. Moving there may trigger security protocols. Humans from the lower world would not survive the traps." Rian looked at her. "I'm not like other humans. I want to help. I can do it." She studied him for a long moment. Finally, she nodded. "Then follow me." They moved carefully along narrow bridges and suspended pathways. Rian's heart pounded every time the platform swayed or a spark of energy flew past. He realized that the Sky Realm was not only alive, but also aware. It tested them as they moved. They reached the storage area. It was a massive chamber filled with glowing containers. Energy flowed between them in delicate patterns. Rian selected the components he needed while Vera monitored the energy lines. Suddenly, a sharp alarm echoed through the chamber. Red lights flashed, and the floor vibrated. Rian looked up to see drones moving toward them, their sensors glowing red. "Security protocols?" Vera shouted. "Stay close to me." The drones hovered, blocking their path. Orin swooped in, wings spreading wide, creating a barrier of wind that pushed the drones back. Rian felt the rush of air and the vibration of Orin's wings beneath him. "We need to move fast," Vera said. "Take the materials and follow me. The energy lines will stabilize the path if we act quickly." They ran through the chamber, leaping over small energy gaps. Sparks flew, but Vera guided Rian with calm precision. He followed her, trusting her completely, feeling a bond forming between them. Once they reached the reactor, Rian began repairing it. Vera stood beside him, monitoring energy flows and guiding his hands. Hours passed as he connected conduits, aligned energy cores, and sealed plasma lines. Sweat ran down his face, but he did not stop. Finally, the reactor glowed bright, stabilizing the inner city. The drones retreated, and the energy lines pulsed evenly. Rian collapsed on the platform, exhausted. Vera knelt beside him. "You did it. The city is safe for now." Rian looked at her. "We did it together." Vera's eyes softened. "You have bravery and skill. Few humans possess both." As they rested, a sudden warning flashed across the energy panels. A signal from the lower world approached. Rian's stomach tightened. "What is that?" Vera's face darkened. "They are coming. Humans from the colony below. They have detected our presence and are sending drones to retrieve you." Rian's heart sank. "They will take me back? But we just saved the city." "They fear what they do not understand," Vera said quietly. "They will not stop until they have control. I cannot allow them to capture you. If they succeed, humanity might destroy the Sky Realm again." Rian looked at her, torn. "I don't want to leave. But they are my people. I have to go back." Vera shook her head. "No, you cannot return now. Not without understanding the risks. Stay with me and help me protect this world. Only then will it survive." Rian felt a wave of fear and confusion. I cannot abandon them. But I cannot leave you either. Vera's eyes glowed. You do not have a choice. If you go back, the drones will follow. They will not stop. I must protect you, even if it means stopping them by force. The sound of approaching drones grew louder. Red lights flashed across the inner city. Rian felt trapped between two worlds. Vera placed a hand on his shoulder. Trust me. I will keep you safe. But you must stay with me. Rian hesitated. He could see the colony below, small and distant, and feel the fragility of the sky realm around him. Finally, he nodded. All right. I trust you. Vera gave a small, approving smile. Good. Then we must move quickly. The drones will arrive in minutes. Oren spread his wings, creating a gust of wind that cleared the platform. Vera led Rian onto the dragon's back. They took off, flying higher into the glowing city. The drones followed, but Oren's speed and strength kept them at bay as they flew. Rian felt a strange bond forming with Vera. He realized that their trust went beyond necessity. It was admiration, respect, and something deeper he could not name. Vera's presence was calming yet powerful. He felt both small and significant at the same time. They reached a safer platform where energy lines were stable. Vera landed Oren gently. We are safe for now, she said. But this is only the beginning. The colony will not give up easily. Rian looked at her. I understand. I will help you protect the Sky Realm, no matter what happens. Vera's eyes glowed softly. Then you are ready for the challenges ahead. But remember, not all battles are fought with machines. Some are fought with courage and understanding. You must be prepared for both. Rian nodded. I am ready. As night fell over the inner city, the lights of the floating towers shimmered like stars in the sky. The Sky Realm was alive, fragile, and beautiful. Rian felt a deep sense of purpose. He knew that he and Vera had formed a bond that went beyond words, beyond fear. Together, they would protect this world, no matter the cost. And somewhere below, the colony's drones were gathering. Unaware that the humans they sought to protect had already become part of something far greater than themselves. The morning sun cast golden light across the floating cities. Platforms, towers, and energy bridges glimmered like a living constellation. Rian stood on the outer edge of a large platform, watching the hum of restored reactors. Oren's wings stretched wide above him, casting a protective shadow over the city. Vera approached, her steps light but deliberate. The inner cities are stable now. The reactors we repaired will hold for some time, but there is still work to do. Some areas remain weak, and others have been damaged beyond repair. Rian nodded. I understand. But it feels like we've done something great. Look at the city lights everywhere. Machines moving, gardens glowing. It's alive again. Vera's eyes softened. Yes, and it is because of you. You chose to stay when others would have fled. You trusted me, and the Sky Realm trusted you. Rian felt a warmth in his chest. He had come to the Sky Realm as a technician, curious and cautious. Now he felt part of something bigger, something alive and ancient. I'm glad I stayed. I want to help protect this place, whatever it takes. Before Vera could respond, a distant hum reached them. Rian recognized it immediately, the low-frequency drones from the colony below. They were coming faster than before. The colony, he said, tension tightening his chest. They didn't give up. Vera turned her gaze downward. They underestimated what they were facing. I cannot allow them to interfere. If they reach the inner city, they could damage the energy lines. Stay close to me. He climbed onto Oren's back. The dragon's wings flexed, lifting them effortlessly above the outer platform. Rian held on tightly as the wind whipped around them. Vera guided the dragon toward the central city, where energy flows were strongest. As they approached, the drones split into formations, attempting to block their path. Rian could see their sensors scanning, ready to fire. He felt fear, but it was mixed with determination. They had come so far, and he would not let the Sky Realm fall. Vera placed her hand on Oren's side. Energy pulsed through the dragon, stronger than before. The wings beat in a controlled rhythm, and the gust of air pushed the drones back. Sparks flew as some drones collided with the force field created by Orin. Others veered off, unable to keep pace. "Hold on," Vera shouted over the wind. "We must reach the central reactor. Only there can we stabilize the city fully and stop the drones." Rian nodded. His hands gripped Orin's scales, feeling the pulse of life beneath him. For the first time, he realized that the dragon was more than a machine or a creature. Orin was a bridge between the sky realm and the world below. Alive with energy, memory, and purpose, they reached the central platform. A massive tower with energy conduits radiating outward like the roots of a tree. The reactors here were more advanced than the ones they had repaired before. Sparks jumped from cracks in the energy lines, threatening to destabilize the entire network. Rian jumped down onto the platform, tools in hand. "I can stabilize the conduits," he said, "but I'll need guidance." Vera knelt beside him, placing her hands on the glowing panels. "I will guide you. Focus on the energy flow, not the machine itself. Feel the rhythm." For hours, Rian worked tirelessly. He repaired conduits, sealed leaks, and rerouted energy through auxiliary lines. Vera monitored everything, adjusting her touch to balance the flow. Together, they synchronized their actions, moving as one. Orin hovered above. Wings spread wide, pushing back the remaining drones. His blue light pulsed brighter with every correction Rian made. The hum of energy filled the city, steady and strong, resonating like a heartbeat. As the last conduit locked into place, the central reactor glowed with a steady golden light. The energy lines across the city pulsed evenly. Rian stood back, exhausted but triumphant. "It's done. The city is stable." Vera placed a hand on his shoulder. "You have done more than repair machines. You have restored life to this world. The sky realm is safe because of your courage." Rian looked at the towers and floating platforms stretching into the horizon. Machines moved gracefully, gardens glowed softly, and the hum of energy resonated through everything. "It's beautiful," he whispered. "Yes," Vera said, "and it belongs to everyone who has the courage to protect it." The distant hum of the colony's drones stopped. Rian realized that the humans below were watching but could not reach them. He wondered what they were thinking and whether they could understand what he had seen. Vera touched Orin's side. The dragon's eyes glowed, and energy rippled across his scales. "It is time to show the colony the truth," she said. Rian looked at her. "How won't they attack? They will see what they have been missing. Once they understand, they will no longer fear us." Vera activated a long-range communicator. A holographic projection appeared over the clouds, showing the floating cities in their restored glory. The lights, gardens, and bridges glimmered for all below to see. The humans in the colony watched in astonishment. Rian could hear their voices on the radio, questioning, shouting, and finally falling silent. The images of the sky realm were undeniable. Humans had feared this world for centuries, but now they could not ignore it. Vera looked at Rian. "This is your doing as much as mine. You bridged the gap between the lower world and the sky. You helped us survive." Rian felt a deep sense of pride, mixed with relief. He had crossed into a world humans had abandoned, learned its rhythm, and restored its life. Now he was part of it suddenly. One of the distant drones moved forward, approaching the platform. Rian tensed, ready to act. But Vera raised her hand. The drone stopped, its sensors scanning the city. Then it paused and retreated. "They are learning," Vera said. "Humans can change when they see truth. Fear can be replaced by understanding." Rian smiled. "We did it. The sky realm is safe." Vera's eyes softened. "For now, but the world below will need to respect this place. They cannot take it for granted, and you will help me teach them." Rian nodded. "I will. I promise." As the sun rose higher, casting golden light across the platforms, Vera guided Orin to hover above the central city. Rian looked down at the floating towers, shining like stars in the sky. The sky realm had survived, and humanity could see its beauty and fragility. Vera turned to him. "You must return to the colony soon. Show them what we have achieved. Prove that humans can coexist with the Sky Realm. Rian felt a pang of sadness. He had grown close to Vera, to Orin, and to the cities themselves. I will return, he said. But I will never forget this place or what you have taught me. Vera smiled softly. And you will always have a place here. The Sky Realm will remember you. Rian climbed onto Orin's back. Vera followed him, guiding the dragon carefully toward the cloud line. Below, the colony was tiny, dwarfed by the majesty of the sky above as they descended. Rian felt a mix of hope and responsibility. The humans below had seen the truth. Now it was up to them to change, to respect and protect what had been hidden for so long. When they landed safely near the colony, Vera turned to him. You have done well. The Sky Realm is safe because of you. Rian smiled, exhausted but happy. Thank you for trusting me. Vera's eyes glimmered. I always knew you would rise to the challenge. Remember, the sky belongs to all. Humans, guardians, and the living cities. Respect it, and it will flourish. Rian nodded. I will never forget. Vera placed a hand on Orin's side, and the dragon lifted off, wings cutting through the morning light. Rian watched as they disappeared into the clouds, a part of a world that had been hidden for centuries. The colony below slowly came to life, its people staring at the sky, no longer in fear, but in wonder. For the first time in generations, humans knew that there was more to the world than they had ever imagined. Rian returned to the colony with a new purpose. He would tell the story, teach others, and ensure that the Sky Realm was never abandoned again. And somewhere above the clouds, Vera and Orin continued their watch. The floating cities thrived, alive with energy, memory, and life. The Sky Realm belonged to everyone who could see its beauty and protect it. Rian knew that the bond he had formed with Vera, with Orin, and with the city itself would last forever. The sky was no longer just a place above. It was a world worth protecting, a symbol of hope, courage, and the endless possibilities of human understanding. The Sky Realm was safe. Humanity had a chance to learn, to grow, and to remember. And Rian had become part of that story. A bridge between the earth below and the clouds above, where life, courage, and hope could always soar.